Alright, welcome to the video. I am sorry about the last video that looked like this. I've actually taken it down. I will not do it again. I got a lot of heat from it. But right now I'm going to try to recreate it, but successfully. So here's the launch part of the video. I will guide you through what I'm doing. I am getting a pitch to 87 degrees, just a very small pitch to lean over, and I'm watching our apoapsis go up while I launch, and eventually I'm going to do prograde, which that will get the rocket directly pointing to the direction it's going instead of locking it in place. We are at Cape Canaveral, Florida at night time. We are launching into the darkness. Now at about 7 kilometers high apoapsis, watching our speed, I will put prograde. You can see the direction of travel, which is in the screen, is slightly different to the direction we're pointing. I did that slightly late because we're talking, but that's okay because we can actually fix up. If we make a few minor mistakes down here, we can fix it up up there. What I'm going to try to do is get us to Cape Bowen, which is the Australian launch site of the Ares rocket. I'm now at half throttle because I'm seeing our apoapsis is going a little bit too high for what I want, for how we're leaning. We're not pitching over fast enough. So instead of just turning the rocket and wasting fuel, I'm allowing it to go slower. So imagine you've got a pencil on your hand and you're balancing that pencil. I'm allowing it to fall a certain way, but we are also traveling at a heading of 90 degrees, which is completely east. We've got our flying saucer on the top, which is actually named the dinner plate because I'm very clever at naming. We are going to see the sun for a bit, which is going to be nice. Okay, me doing that accidentally got rid of the prograde. Now, once our apoapsis is about 125, the aerodynamic forces will be way less on our rocket. But we are not landing. Normally, by now, I've landed over about 45 degrees, which is this little circle down here. I don't know if you can see the mouse. It's a little circle on the nav ball. So I'm basically just going the same speed, a little bit faster, just allowing it to lean over. Our apoapsis is still going to climb up. We're not really wasting fuel. This is not the most efficient first stage, but I've given us extra fuel to cope with this. And as we get closer, our apoapsis I would like to be around 500 kilometers. I want it to do this because I need us to have a very, very harsh re-entry. So we're going to come in at an angle that is going to be completely, it's going to burn away that heat shield. This is a heat shield test, and I really hope it succeeds so I can actually have a proper video and we end at the proper time. I'm obviously going to be pausing my camera at certain times and pausing the mic at certain times in order so you guys don't have to watch the long boring stuff. I'm gonna start giving us a little bit of extra. I enable camera shake because cinematic beauty is good. Now the sun's gonna rise. I like doing this because we can actually watch the sunrise from where we're going, even though we're going away from the sun. Our curve is sharper than the Earth's curve. And I'm also looking at our fuel. We're down to 2%. We're about to stage 1%, and our apoapsis is there. Alright. Now let's cut this rocket in. May as well say half. Alright. I'm going to allow it to lean over. I'm actually using our fuel in our rocket engines. I'm throttling our rocket engines in order to get us to where we want to go. So our solar panels as well will come out when we're using lower levels of thrust, because they are very sensitive. They are more sensitive than a woke person in the university. So, in order to take care of them, we need to keep them shut. There are little tricks I can do now. I'm on my second stage. If I need to flatten our trajectory, I can do that, but we're still in the climb right now. Doesn't seem like it. The sun is not our sun. I nearly said our sun. It's everybody's sun. Which means it's also your sun as well. Sun meaning big burning gas up in the sky. You get what I'm saying. We got the sun rising through the power of not monopropellant. No, I'm not that crazy to make a rocket out of that. No, I could one day. Methalox. Methane and oxygen mixed together, add a little bit of spark, put it in the right thing, it goes boom and flies out the back really fast, and we go screaming the other direction. Now, I'm going to increase our throttle. I want us to get our apparatus to 5. I'm not actually paying a lot of attention to our speed, by the way. Reason being is I know this rocket pretty well, and yeah, our speed's not. I think we're going to circularize our orbit in the third stage. From what it's hard to tell really, because sometimes I circularize the orbit, meaning I actually get into orbit at the third stage, but it is possible at the second stage. I don't know. This is a full rocket test. I have added some weights up in the top. Up here we've got more gyroscopes. I just added gyroscopes. Like that, let's just increase the weight, which is not going to do our heat shield any favors. And we added more gyroscopes, and I've added more battery to it, which the heat shield hates batteries. Batteries and heat shields do not go together. They're enemies, because batteries weigh a lot, and heat shields don't like weight. They want small things in the small amount of cargo. They don't want you bringing all your space trash down to Earth. They want you to throw it away and let it burn up. It's not a protector of space trash. I'm going to lock our heading and just allow it to get up to 500. What's going to happen is we are going to go away from the green. Our direction of travel is going to go away from the direction of orientation, and we are at about half of the speed we need to go to get into orbit. Hey Mum, we're halfway there. Okay, I'm going to go back down. This is where some experience has come in. I just have gut feelings about things. Now I put this down to half, and the fuel is exponential in the way it works. Like, the more fuel we use, the less fuel we need to use in the future. It's the rocket equation is not the easiest thing to deal with getting up, but once you're actually flying and once you're detached from the ground, we can actually use that. But I'm looking at our apparatus time now, and our apparatus is at nearly 500 kilometers. Now we've got 100% battery, no mono because I don't like thrusters. Yep, we're exactly 500 there, and we've got 17% fuel. Right now we are coasting. We got beautifully. I thought that was a good circle. Make sure you tell me in the comments if my rocket circle is not very good. While we're coasting, I'm gonna quickly open up this little peekaboo hatch. The other one, I have Actually, with above our test dummy, there's no astronaut in there. It's a test dummy. That's how confident I am. It's a robot that I can control if I need to. In there, he's sitting exactly above a parachute, which is just there. But there's a control. But around the sides are the gyroscopes, which is probably going to be just as important as the parachute. Now we're going to give us a little bit of engine. Let's get a little bit of rocket. Now I'm going to go full because I'm watching our time go down. Our time's going up a little bit. 5:03. I want it to be above 500 kilometers for this test. So I'm just going to allow this 84 seconds to go through. And after this, I'm actually going to probably stop the video and just use my newly learned skills in editing and actually make a few videos and put them all together. Because I'm learning how to YouTube. This is the cringy stage of being a YouTuber. I'm going to look back at this one day, I'm going to be like, I can't believe you did that. What were you thinking? Okay, let's full pelt. Once it go down 34, that's the camera shaking, that's cinematic beauty. 34, and our speed above 5, we're nearly there. Orbit is a destination, and I accidentally gave us a bit of that. That's not going to hurt us too much. That is our crashing point. Okay, 506 kilometers. Time to APO is way below what I want, so I do want to phase it up a little bit. Increase our time to APO by a little bit more while we use the rest of our fuel. Now looks like we're not wasting this stage. The sun went down, I'm sorry. Normally get that. We're not wasting this stage. That's going to fall back to Earth, and it's made from stuff that is environmentally friendly, just like this channel is. Now we must. We gotta change the plans. I didn't put in a safety stage and I made a big mistake. So, looks like we're coming in now, right now. How much is it? Alright, I've got to twist this around a little bit. I can now test the gyros. It looks like we're stuck. Recenter the spacecraft, turn that around, there we go, let's unsuckerize ourselves, and that's a word. It's a real word, I made it myself. And we'll get you over there. We are not unstuck. Let's try to avoid that. This is stuff that actually happens in real life in space, they don't talk about it so much. Oh, that engine was going, it just wasn't noticeable. That is now in a retrograde because that's going to crash a lot sooner than we will. But it seems to be turning a little bit, so it's going to get faster and faster and faster. It might go for a little bit and we might see it again. Okay, I've made a mistake here, but this happens. This is why we test things, and my video is going to be a bit long, but hopefully it's going to be exciting this time. Alright, now here's the big question. I'm going to change our map now. Are we going to do a water landing, or are we going to be visiting a country? Oh, that's awesome. It looks like we're going to do a water landing. We missed Australia, because, you know, I think the rocket itself just didn't want us to go to Australia. Instead of making different clips, I am going to fast forward the simulation to get us to the point where we're re-entering. Also, because I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video, I'm doing this for my own. I'm selfish. Being selfish, it's okay to think about yourself. That's what they keep telling you. We are going to have an even steeper re-entry at orbital speed. This is so close to being orbital speeds that we will definitely be able to know for sure next time if we are capable of. Okay, I'm going to quickly press play here. So we know for sure next time if we are capable of re-entry. I'm facing black side up because I want what's going to happen is I'm going to control through the re-entry. Now this is where I literally, doing this stuff is literally where my name comes from. Getting anything that's made out of anything back down onto the ground. Watching our direction of travel, very soon the air is going to start gripping us. We are over here. I want us to land during the day. So my mission now is to give you some sunlight. Which means I'm going to be skipping off the atmosphere. Alright, my orientation. This is the risky part. My spacecraft, the air is going to go into our dish and go down. It's just like a frisbee, but going at 7.5 kilometers per second. And the sun is rising. I bet you they made a song about sun rising. I'm not allowed to sing because whenever I sing, I get a bunch of people at my door and they've got sharp objects and sticks that are burning. I get it. I like being part of a mob, but when they come after me, it's not really fun because I'm a runner, not a. It's very hard to run away from a mob because no doubt one person in that mob will be fitter than I am. I'm just kidding, that stuff never happens. Not these days, anyway. My work in previous jobs, one of my jobs, I'll say, is that while I'm re-entering into the atmosphere, one of my jobs was a patrol officer, and we got surrounded by a bunch of happy people, and I was in a uniform that really looked like I basically was so outnumbered I couldn't do anything. I just had to tell the people, you know what, guys, have fun. And as they're having fun, we're gonna have some fun now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the re-entry heat shield information up. I'm going to also switch to the nav ball on the map, so we know our orientation and direction. We are slightly off from our direction, and I'm correcting that. I'm using everything I've got in order to get this craft down safe. But I also want to see if we're skipping off the atmosphere, as well as test some limits. We are coming in very hot, but our altitude is still decreasing. My immediate goal is to make it increase. The rate of our altitude decreasing is slowing down, which means then once it slows down, it'll go to positive. This is about this change of orientation is as much as I'm willing to risk, because this last time this craft, I did this, it placed into the reentry plasma and it just disappeared in a second. We have only slowed down by about 1 kilometer per second. We are re-entering and we've got a positive rate of altitude change. So while that is actually happening, I actually have to steer the orientation, because the green, what you're seeing kind of flash, that will kill us. Our direction of travel will actually go into a way where it's not facing the heat shield, it's facing the white stuff that the heat shield's protecting. Like, this thing has a few surprises, I'm not gonna. We are definitely traveling. Some people use camels, some people use re-entry vehicles. But yeah, so it turns out, like, some people that use camels, we are heading towards a country, which is the country that I'm currently sitting in. We actually export, we have a good export with Saudi Arabia, and we export camels there, because we don't make sense. We have any animal. I'm trying to keep everything straight. I'm watching our heat shield. Our heat shield's not going down by much. But we have a positive rate. So we are skimming off the atmosphere. We're basically, as the saying goes, you give anything with a wing, if you put anything with a wing, and if you make anything with a wing go fast enough, it will fly. Now this capsule is loosely shaped as a wing. It's not even acting like an aerofoil surface. I do have physics enabled on the bodies of this craft, so you can actually, if you make a really badly made aircraft, it might fly. So the body physics are certainly enabled. Now we are going completely straight. Let's get some stationary. We are hurling through. We are a shooting star. I love that song, by the way, Shooting Star. Sad, don't. Okay, and I'm actually controlling this. I'm making minor inputs with my keyboard, as well as here, because we are also following the line of orbit still, because we're slowing down in a way that's not really. We're a glider. We are the worst made glider ever, but we are 78 kilometers high. We're falling now. I want us to be in pretty good sunlight when we finally land, and we are heading towards the lit part of the planet, and the lit part of the planet is heading towards us, so everything's lit here. Don't kids use that word? Oh, that's lit. Or am I just a grumpy old man sitting here? The sun is certainly out. I like it. I can actually terminate this flight at any moment, meaning I could stop flying and then go ballistic. And I'm not talking about throwing my computer. I can if I go to where you see that flashing, if my mouse isn't there, if I press that, we will go ballistic and we will slow down really, really fast. We potentially risk ruining the whole spacecraft. And now we're coming into the dense atmosphere. Yeah, we'll risk ruining our whole spacecraft. But our rate of descent is being slowed down due to the angle of attack we have made from the air that is going past us. So I make another adjustment. And yes, I do make adjustments during re-entry. I'm looking at our battery levels. Our battery levels, 96%. I might have overdone with the batteries, but that camera shake, I only have it on a small amount. We are decelerating at a level that human beings can happily manage. We're decelerating. He's stuck in his seat. I'll try to zoom in enough. Oh, I don't like that. We'll try to zoom in enough so you can see that's really bad. Yep, nice and bright in there. I hope that you've got a good spacesuit on. I'm going to start going more ballistic. And I don't mean standing at the corner with a Bible screaming Bible verses at all the cars that slow down to see who I am. I'm gonna have to make so many ballistic jokes. We're 58 kilometers high as well. We're just lazily going through the atmosphere. My favourite part of flying is actually re-entry. So I could write down in the comments below if you want me to just skip the launch and just go to re-entry, because this is where all the fun is at. This is where all the danger and excitement, and I really hope these 3 speed rags, parachutes, are going to work. And I really hope my microphone's working right now, because otherwise I'm just some crazy person sitting here talking to a computer. But as you all know, I don't take a second take. Well, I actually do. I do take multiple takes. This is my sorry video. I am sorry for the last video. If anybody watched that video in full, please let me know. And I'll apologise personally. I've taken that. I've unlisted that video. It's not the direction I want my channel to be in. I want my failures to be seen. I don't want to... I feel bad for that. That was not nice to do, to just suddenly end the video. Even though it said it suddenly got ended, it was not a nice thing to do to you all. We're now going at a speed where 17, 16 or 1.5, nearly 1.5 kilometers. Our flame is going to not be a flame very soon, and we are going to be, as soon as I feel confident, which is about now actually, I'm going to start turning and facing us, and we can become more of a glider. I can be more aggressive with our angle of attack and get away with it. Now there's our flame. Our flame is gone. I'm going to look at the heat on this. The temperature is 250 degrees. Okay, that's fine. Our temperature, I'll do a temperature difference of that, and that is 240. Yeah, these heat shields and temperatures go up and down like crazy. I hope the metal doesn't expand. Okay, we are now, what we can do, due to our speed being low and our surface temperature being low, we can actually, we can actually control our rate of descent a little bit by just being the flying saucer that it looks like we are. Now, I've got all the parachutes activated, and that was a problem. We have made our next mistake. I need to have safety. When the parachutes get... It's interesting because I've still got body physics on, and yeah, our parachutes are going to activate. Even though we just fell into our re-entry, we're basically just going along for the ride now. I can actually alter us. We're basically surfing. This is why I call myself Wreckage Rider, because I cling on to a wreckage, which is our heat shield, and I ride it down. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to try to still face this into there. I would like to shake this off, but I don't see it. I see that happening later. I would like us to face our drogue chutes, which are these square. Whoa, it just pulled us away. Bye bye, re-entry heat shield. I personally thank you for not being part of this video being ruined. Alright, I'm gonna unlock our heading. I'm gonna let us dangle. Our pilot is currently... Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. We don't have a test dummy anymore. It's actually a droid. I can't believe I said that. I realised I said that way too early because of something that might happen. Something that did happen in the last video. I do have... Our staging is so close between the main parachute and releasing these two drogues that it's not over until we land in the ocean. And of course, I'm going to make the droid go for an EVA. And I realised I forgot to add flotation, so we're going to sink. Just being transparent here. Alright, we are going 68 meters per second down. I'm trying to keep us up and level a little bit. Our gyros are working to a way to try to keep us level. This will actually make it a lot easier when we, we go 33, when we throw the massive speed rag out, that's when, that's when we will really know if we've succeeded. If not, I'm going to do my best to save us. I'm going to do my best to get this in such a way where we swan dive into the ocean. Or cannonball. If you've watched this far, I appreciate it. It's a long, kind of a long video, but I've really condensed my gameplay down to as exciting as possible, because if I get bored, that means you get bored. 8 kilometers high. This is normal for drogue shoots to take a while. I could probably make them smaller, and I think I will make them smaller for them. It depends on the next stage, because I made them kind of big, so it takes a little bit of pressure off the next one. The smaller they get, the more pressure comes on the next one. You know, NASA has had scientists in the Apollo program, pretty much people are quitting or talking about quitting in the very least, just because of the parachute. Parachutes drive people nuts. If it was just a drogue shoot, we would survive. We're only going 27, and we can land at 27. I don't know what the high speed is of us landing, but the low speed is 27. Alright, that's an awkward silence. And I got like a mic strapped to me. I feel like I'm on TV. Not really. I feel very far from being on TV. Right now I'm like, go down! But we're landing in sunlight. Yeah, it's low in the horizon, but I'm gonna take it because and if we went completely ballistic, we would be in a bit more darkness. We'd probably be in a little bit of light, but I wanted to give us as much light as we could. And you know you're powerful or you're strong when you can control the sunlight, which part of the sun you want to be on. That's how fast we're going. We're talking numbers that are crazy, and real astronauts can have this same dilemma as well. It's when we get to, I think it's about 1,800 meters is the next stage. We don't need this anymore. I'm just going to lock it there. Actually, I'm going to keep it pretty hard going because I want that parachute, when it comes out, I want it to not have much pressure, so I'm thinking about how much pressure we're putting on the structure. And obviously this is not a capsule that is designed, it's not one of the capsules that I like to make my own capsules because I can do more with them. I can put batteries, I've got way more flexibility having my own design capsule. We're going 22 and our speed goes down by a lot the lower we go. Okay, 2,700. Still going down by a little bit. If anything, I don't know if I'm going to snip this part of the video out. This is really a video that I would not be shocked if nobody watched it. After my last video, I keep going on about it. It's like, no, I will. If this is not a success, then at least we gotta learn why it's not a success, and I'm not going to shut off the video. I'm going to upload the whole video without editing. Much. There we go. It broke off. Okay. The parachute broke off because it's under too much stress. That one ended, so we gotta drive this thing. We're gonna drive this thing now. We got 1.5 kilometers to drive. So I'm going to... We might crash. I'm doing my best here, guys. I don't have a lot of air to work with. Ooh. Yep, we crashed. Okay, our crash test dummy. Let's forget about what I said before. Our crash test dummy is going to provide some data. And oh no. Our crash test dummy went in here and this floats. So, thanks for watching. I'm still going to upload the video. And you're going to get some closure as to why we crashed. In this part, we missed Australia, but I know what to do next time. Next time, I'm not going to cut the drogues. I'm going to hold onto the drogues the whole time because it is better for us to have a really sudden impact because our main parachute had problems than the drogues to just them to do what happened just there. The sun is still up. That was a bonus. Alright, thanks for watching. Please join our Discord. Like, subscribe, do all that crap that YouTube people say. Goodbye.